Welcome back to Finding God in Fiction. I can't believe I've not talked about this book yet in this series, but today we are talking about Divine Rivals. This story follows Iris and Roman. It is a beautiful fantasy about two people who just are so connected in so many magical ways and how they overcome so much hardship. There is a lot of grief and a lot of tragedy that happens in both of their lives individually and together, and the two of them just really cling to the themes of love and hope and long suffering, which I think are huge biblical themes that we see all throughout scripture. We see Jesus grieving over the loss of a friend, over the known fate of those that he loves, and over his imminent death, which obviously he knows is going to lead to resurrection, but he still grieves that. He still begs the Father to be relieved of that burden. But it's also something that Iris and Roman experience very heavily in this book. They cling to hope, they cling to love, and they cling to the idea that they're not on their own and they have a faith in something bigger. And I really just want to read this quote because I think it's so beautiful. It's from towards the beginning of the book. This is one of the characters writing to the other, and it's talking about grief. And it says, "But time will slowly heal you as it's doing for me. There are good days and there are difficult days. Your grief will never fully fade. It will always be with you, a shadow you carry in your soul, but it will become fainter as your life becomes brighter. You'll learn to live outside of it again, as impossible as that may sound. Others who share your pain will also help you heal because you're not alone, not in your fear or your grief or your hopes or your dreams. You are not alone." I think as Christians, we can learn a lot from how they cling to their faith and how they cling to their love for one another, and really just use that as a very good picture of how we should cling to the love of Jesus, the love he has for us, and cling to one another, to love one another, to be there for one another, to hold one another in our grief. It's not something as Christians we really think about very much because we don't always want to think about the suffering. We more so want to think about the joy. But I think it's so important to think about the suffering and how to make it through the suffering and how God can really shine through the suffering. I love this story so much. Divine Rivals is one of my favorite books of all time. And I love just how we see little glimmers of faith. The theme of hope is so prominent in these books. And shout out Rebecca Ross. She does talk about God in her author's notes in all of her books. So also absolutely love that. That's all for today. I'll see you next Friday for another edition of Finding God in Fiction.